not only did I have to create a life that was successful according to his success, but that also had to reflect what he valued in life and what was meaning and important to him. But then I started to question, hang on a minute, what are my values? What's important to me? What's important to the way that I live and work? What's my definition of success? What's the vision that I would actually have for my life that reflects my values? And is it aligned with what his expectations? And when I realized it wasn't, then it was time to change. I also realized that at the end of the day, there's that thing that they say, you come into this world alone and you go out alone. And nobody was going to come and save me, And so in terms of fulfilling other people's expectations, how about fulfilling my own? Am I not worth giving myself that? Am I not worth it? And when you suddenly realize that you're living this life that doesn't make you happy, and to the point where it's making you sick, you have to question that and say, is it really worth it?
100%. It's something that we need to be asking more of, because how often do you find that people work every single day, they bust their gut, never see their kids, never go home and that, and then you see them, they'll have died, and the job will be advertised before they've even had the funeral for that person. Like, before the family can even bury that person, there's already the company's looking for somebody to replace them. And you think that you give your whole life for a company that just goes, okay, we'll get the next one in. That's sad. One of my colleagues recently passed away. He got 4 lines in an email out. And I thought, he gave so much, he did so much more, and he probably spent hours and hours of his own time doing stuff to help students and stuff. And all he got was 4 lines in an email to say, we're sorry to hear about. I was like, what?
Right.
There must be more to it. And I know we have our friends, our family, and you're meant to have hobbies outside of it and stuff, but that can be like a big burden for a lot of people, fulfilling their parental expectations, and you're saying we should live life on our own terms. So how do we start putting barriers in then, just to start that, to say, look, mom, I'm doing this and this is what I want? Or yes, societal culture values says I should be arranged marriage, I should be doing that, whatever it is. But no, I'm actually going to do this, because we have students when I work at university who come over, they're from Nigeria, and it's the first time they can express themselves and come out as gay. They can't go home again because of the cultural values, but they can finally be themselves because they're away from the family, away from their certain cultural pressures and stuff. So how can we start putting barriers in to live that life in our own terms?
That's interesting. So in terms of when you say dealing with parental expectations, I think one of the best things I've learned is you've got to listen to their advice. You don't need to fight it, but then do your own thing, And I think it's funny because I spent a long time trying to explain what I was doing and the reasons I am, but it was almost like speaking Japanese to somebody that's Indian. It's like you're talking different language. If you want different things in your life, you've got a different vision and a different version of success. I realized I was never going to be able to convince my dad that what I was doing was right for me because we spoke different languages. So as I've moved forward, I've learned to listen, take what I thought was useful and kind of bin the rest and put the boundaries down. And I think that that's really, really important. And, in terms of, I really respect you, I really respect your advice, but you know what? I'm going to do it my way. And a lot of the time with him, I've said, you know what? I've got to make mistakes.